Sammy, what are the limits of reform, be it economic or political reform? What are the limits of reform when we're talking about a country like Saudi? How far can it actually go?
I'm very worried in the sense that, I mean, listening to some of the guests, and perhaps maybe I've given this impression as well, that somehow we're talking about an overhaul like it's a positive thing, that somehow we're saying that MBS, we're implying he's some sort of visionary or revolutionary coming in. This is not the case. Mohammed bin Salman is doing what he needs to stay in power. Saudi Arabia is surrounded by a growing Iranian threat in the north and to the east and to the south, and it's got no allies because Egypt is reneging on agreements, and so is the UAE. So Saudi is very isolated. That's on the external front. On the internal front, Mohammed bin Salman needs to maneuver himself to become king before his father dies. Every time there's a succession struggle, we see situations like this. We see when King Fahd died, talks of reform. When King Khalid died, talks of reform. When King Abdullah died, talks of reform. This is the same story we hear over and over again. So let's not go overboard here. The reason why Mohammed bin Salman needs money is because he needs to gain popular support domestically. That's the only reason he wants to become king. It's nothing about making Saudi Arabia this great economic power or whatnot. Mohammed bin Salman is playing a short-term game. We can only talk about a long-term game when he becomes king. So I think when we're talking about what he needs to do economically, this is not the primary purpose of what Mohammed bin Salman is doing. And the reason why I mention this point is because it directly links to your question. How far can reforms go? They will go only insofar as they make Mohammed bin Salman the undisputable power in Saudi Arabia. Any law that implies or infringes or hinders his power or his influence will not be implemented. Every company that goes through Saudi Arabia must go through a Mohammed bin Salman leaning company. Every company that wants to thrive in Saudi Arabia must go through a Mohammed bin Salman middleman. That's the reality of the Saudi Arabia that he's seeking to create. So let's be very careful in terms of how we analyze Saudi Arabia. There is a very good saying in Arabic that sums up what Mohammed bin Salman is doing. It's haqqun urida bihi batil. This is truth, this is the correct thing to do, but for the wrong purpose. He is tackling corruption, but not to deal with corruption. He's dealing with the big shots and trying to secure power, but not because he wants to create a democratic, transparent system.
All right, Sammy.